Good evening, my brothers and sisters. How are you doing this beautiful evening? Your brother Tony is in the house. As a matter of fact, it's dinner time, so come on in and sit down, my brother and sister. I hope that you have a good appetite for our discussion tonight, and I'm about to get to the menu shortly. So come on in, brothers. Come on in, sisters. Come on in, family, and invite other people and invite other family members because we got plenty of good soul food to go around. I mean, we will not run out of good soul food. So we got it for everybody. So come on in, brothers. Come on in, sisters. You are going to enjoy what's on the menu for tonight. I hope that you all had a very good weekend. And now we're at the dawn of another week. So thank God that we're all here. If this is your first time being at the dinner table, allow me to introduce myself and welcome to the dinner table. My name is Tony M. Toomer, and I speak on relationships. When I talk about relationships, my brothers and sisters and friends, I talk about relationship basically pertaining to a man and a woman that has God as the foundation of the relationship. I see you are. How you doing, Sister Tiara? Welcome to the dinner table. I see you came in and got your seat. Come on in, brother. Come on in, sister. Let me tell you this. I'm talking on two different platforms. I'm talking on the book and I'm talking on the tube. Those of you that on the tube, I may make a comment to those that are on the book. And those of you on the book, you may not see the people names on the tube and vice versa. Those of you that are on the book, I may say something to those that are on the tube and you may not see their comments, but we're all family here. So I'll let you all know that I got two different platforms that I'm talking to at the same time at the dinner table. So, like I say, if this is your first time, my name is Tony Toomer, and I talk basically about relationship. My brother and sister, one of the most important things that you need to understand while you're here on earth, there's nothing more important than relationship. And when I say relationship, the most important thing, my brother and sister, is your relationship with God through his son Jesus. And after that, God created the man and he created the woman. For example, God had a unique relationship with the man Adam. Secondly, he had a unique relationship with the woman Eve. Thirdly, he represented the woman to the man after he had took a rib out of the man and he fashioned the woman and he represented the woman to the man. And in the presence of God, Adam said in regards to Eve, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, I should call her woman because she came from man. That's where I come from when I talk about relationship. However, if you got another version of a relationship, that's on you. But if you're here at the dinner table, I strictly talk about a relationship from a biblical standpoint. And when I say biblical, I always go back to Genesis, how God started. God started a relationship with him and a man. God started a relationship with him and a woman. And God started a relationship between a man, a woman, and himself. So that's where I come from when it comes to a relationship. How you doing, mother? Welcome to the dinner table. With that said, the topic or what's on the menu for tonight, my brother and sister, is 3 reasons why God doesn't want you to be in a particular relationship. How you doing, Sister Tanya Park? How you doing? Come on in, brother. Come in, sister. And by the way, my brother and sister, when you come in, you can make comments to the other brothers and sisters because we're a family here, as long as it pertains to the topic that we're talking about. So this is a family gathering at the dinner table. So by all means, my brother and sister, thank you for coming in and thank you for speaking to everybody. Okay, I really appreciate that. But back to the menu. 3 reasons why God doesn't want you to be in a particular relationship. Now, my brothers and sisters, God created the relationship. There's no one else that created the relationship. God created the relationship between him and mankind. Therefore, if God created a relationship between him and mankind, God has the right to dictate the right type of relationship that he approves to be right or wrong. So at the dinner table tonight, that's what we're going to discuss, the 3 reasons why God doesn't want you to be in a particular type of relationship. As I have always said, my brother and sister, God does not approve of all relationships, and God is not in all relationships. So you got to get that together. Just because you see a man and a woman married, my brother and sister, that doesn't mean that God put that man and woman together. And majority of the marriages that you see, my brother and sister, is sad to say, but God did not have nothing to do with it. A man and a woman decided to get married because they said they love one another. A man and a woman did not seek the face of God and ask God, God, is this the person that you want me to be with? God, is this the person that going to be a part of the purpose? God, is this the person that you want me to represent as Christ is the represents the husband, where the bridegroom and the husband, and the woman, or the church represents the woman as the bride and the wife. So, like I said, most men do not go to the Lord and say, Lord, is she's the one. Most women do not go to the Lord and say, Lord, is he's the one. Most men and women get married based on the concept of me, myself, and I. What does he bring to the table, or what does she bring to the table? That's how the world normally do it. They're very rare when a man asks God to lead him to find a wife, and it's very rare for a woman to wait for God to cause a man to find her. It's very, very rare. Only a few couples that you see, my brother and sister. You got to stop going by what appears to be a good couple, what appears to be a power couple, and all that kind of stuff. Because when you look at the media, my brother and sister, the media hype up what they deem as the power couple. And what does the media or the world say the power couple is? The media will say something like, this is a popular couple. This couple got a lot of money. This couple got the American dream. This couple, they look good together. That's what the world try to sell to you, my brother and sister. But listen to what I'm saying, my brother and sister. What the world dictates as a power couple, that's a worldly couple. That's how the world presented. But a real power couple, my brother and sister, is that man or that woman that has God in the relationship. That man or that woman, they're not proud to go around saying, you know, we look good together. They're not going to go around and say, look at what we have got together. They don't base their relationship off of how they look good together. They don't base their relationship on whether they're popular. They don't base their relationship on they have a lot of assets. They don't do that. A godly couple is mainly concerned with how that man and that woman going to represent God in a relationship. So that's what a real power couple is. A power couple has the spirit of God. A worldly couple does not have the spirit of God, have the spirit of Satan, which is the prince of a little god of this world. Small g, small z, o, and small d. You understand? So they are the world. Now, remember, there are 3 reasons why God doesn't want you to be in a particular relationship. Now, we're going to go to Genesis 50. That's chapter 50, verse 20. Genesis chapter 50, verse 20. Genesis 50, 20. And it is written, as you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good. Listen to what I'm saying. Now, Joseph, he penned this. And let me tell you the background of what Joseph was doing. Joseph was one of Israel's sons. Israel and Jacob is the same person. Jacob had 12 sons. So Joseph, one of the sons, which was Jacob's favorite son, his brother sold him into slavery. Joseph ended up working in Potiphar's house. Potiphar's wife wanted to have a physical relationship with Joseph, but he wouldn't do it. So she lied and she trumped up charges against Joseph, and he got thrown in prison, right, by Potiphar. So years went by, and Joseph was a dreamer, and God revealed things to Joseph in dreams. So there were 2 men that was in prison with Joseph, and they both got out of prison, and Joseph told both of them to remember him. So he told one of the men that he was going to be restored to his position with the king, and he told one man that he was going to get killed when he got released by the king. So everything came to pass, and there was this dream that Joseph had, and he was the only one that where the king had a dream and nobody could answer his dream. So one of the men that got released in prison, he remembered Joseph, and he told the king about this particular man named Joseph. So Joseph got pulled out of prison, and he got before the king, and he told the king his dream. And at that particular time, Joseph became the second most powerful man in Egypt. So Joseph got reunited with his brothers, and he got reunited with his father Jacob. So his brothers, when they finally figured out who Joseph really was, they thought that everything was cool as long as their daddy was alive. But when their daddy Israel died, they thought that Joseph was going to get revenge on them, but he didn't. And that's why Joseph said in Genesis 50:20, Genesis 50:20, Genesis 50:20, Genesis 50:20, as it's written, as you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good. Now, why would I tell you that story? The reason why I told you this story, my brother and sister, the bottom line, it was about relationship, a relationship that went wrong. But God, in his infinite wisdom, God worked through the bad vibes in that relationship between Jacob and his brother, and Jacob did not have no animosity. It was a lesson well learned, but God turned that relationship that was evil against Joseph to good, for God to work out his purpose through Joseph. Now, why did I say that? When we can apply that to a relationship between a man and a woman. It could be a good man, a godly man, and he get mixed up with an ungodly woman. Or it could be an ungodly woman, where it could be an ungodly man. He's in a relationship, will call himself in a relationship with a godly woman. So, my brother and sister, you should not be unequally yoked with an unbeliever. I have said this over and over and over again. Water and oil does not mix. It never mix. It never will. So you got to believe God's word, my brother and sister. When it comes to unbeliever, God does not want you to entertain an unbeliever. It will never work. You are causing destruction to yourself, my brother and sister, when you deal with an unbeliever. Now, at the dinner table, most of the people at the dinner table are sisters and brothers that believe in God through his son, Jesus Christ. There are going to be some people that are going to smell the food that we got cooking up in here. How you doing, Sister Kendra? Work to the dinner table. There are going to be some people that are going to smell this good food at the dinner table, and they're going to come close to the dinner table. They might stand at the window and look in and see what we're chewing on at the dinner table, which is 3 reasons why God doesn't want you to be in a particular relationship. Number 1 out of 3 reasons why God does not want you to be in a particular relationship. My brothers and sisters, remember, you don't supposed to be unequally yoked with an unbeliever, because you're going down 2 different pathways. One is following the light, which is the Lord, and one is following darkness, which is Satan. So Satan and God doesn't mix. First of all, God have his sons and daughters. Satan has his sons and daughters. You got to understand that. You're going to one of them going to be your father, my brother and sister. It's either going to be Satan or it's going to be God. You decide who's going to be your father. Okay? Now, one reason why God does not want you to be in a relationship with an ungodly person or unbeliever is because it's a waste of your time. There's no way, my brother, and there's no way, my sister, that you can regain back time. Everything that I have said to you thus far, my brother and sister, that is time gone by. Everything that you have been through today, my brother and sister, every second that goes by, it's called time. You cannot relive 1 second over. Right now, as I speak, I'm speaking at 5:55 Eastern Standard Time. At 5:56 Eastern Standard Time, whatever I said at 5:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it's gone into the vault. It's over with. It's over with. Everything I said, it's over with. You might remember, but it's over with. I can't change it. That's what I'm saying. I can't change nothing, my brother and sisters. You can't change nothing that have went by a second ago. So when it comes to a relationship, my brother and sister, you, brother, and you, sister, you got to exercise your wisdom, and you got to understand that if you in the wrong type of relationship, you're wasting your time. Sister Parker said, yep, so true. I've been down that road, and you can't forget trying to change them. They have to want it for themselves. Amen. So listen, if you don't remember anything else, I want you to remember these 3 points. You wasting your time. Can you understand, my brother and sister? You wasting your time. Even though that man may appear to be good to you, sister, brother, even though that woman may appear to be good to you, it's all about what's in him or her, not what's on them. What's in them is more important than what's on them. What's on them is the outside appearance. They may look good. They might have their things together from a world standpoint, but what's going on in that man or woman's heart, my brother and sister? You got to understand what's going on in that man and woman's heart. Who lives in that man and woman's heart? That's what you got to understand. Who lives in that man and woman's heart? Here we go again. Every time I'm doing my video, somebody always calling and know about what time I want to do my video. But anyway, don't waste your time. If you waste your time, my brother and sister, there's no need going to complaining to your family. There's no need to you going complaining to your friend. There's no need to you going complaining to your coworker or social media. How you doing, Sister Sherry Ismail? Welcome to the dinner table. Those of you that are coming in tonight on the menu, we'll talk about 3 reasons why God doesn't want you to be in a particular relationship. And we just hit point number 1. Don't waste your time. God does not want you to waste your time, my brother and sister. Now, check this out, my brother and sister. How you doing, Sister Monica? Welcome to the night dinner table. My brother and sister, listen carefully. The average life expectancy of a man and a woman from God's position is 70, or score mean 20. Okay, so 3 scores, that's 60 years. 20 plus 20 plus 20 is 60 years, and 10. How you doing, Sister Cameron? Welcome to the dinner table. Now listen, God gave us a projected 3 scores and 10, 70 years, my brother and sister. We're not going by statistics from the United States and all this worldly stuff. That's the average life expectancy. You may make it to 70 years. You may go over it. And if you go over it, you just thank God that he gave you more than 70 years. But 70 years, my brother and sister, that goes by very quick. That's why a lot of you brothers, a lot of you sisters, when you desire to be in a relationship, but you got fear. You got fear because you have been through bad relationship based on some bad choices that you made, brother, and you made, sister. I made some wrong choices in my life. You understand? But just because I made some wrong choices in my life, and I tried to do it my way, and a lot of you brothers and sisters, you try to do it your way, you're not a failure. You just felt some testing because you tried to do it your way. But try it God's way. When you try it God's way, God going to bring the right person into your life. And when God brings the right person into your life, you're not going to be wasting your time. That's going to be productive time because you, brother, and you, sister, you understand, brother and sister, that you got a purpose. You understand that you're following God through his son, Jesus Christ. You understand when God brings you all together, it's for a reason. And I could list some couples from the Bible that they had a purpose in God, for God, or a purpose in life. Well, we could go back to Abraham and Sarah. We can go to Isaac and Rebecca. We can go to Jacob, whose name became Israel, him and Rachel. We can go to Boaz and Ruth. We can go to Mary and Joseph. We can go to Ananias and Sapphira and all that kind of stuff. Every couple had a purpose why God put them together. I think I better take Ananias and Sapphira out. I'll take them out, okay? But the rest of the couple, they had a good purpose for God putting them together. Okay, he had a good purpose for putting those couple together. Like brother and sister, when God bring a godly man, a godly woman to you, it's not to waste your time. It's to utilize the time that God put you together. Because when God put you in a serious, committed, and covenant relationship, it's bigger than you and that man getting married, sister. It's bigger than you and that woman getting married, my brother. It's because you're supposed to reflect Christ and the church being as one, because you, my brother, you, my sister, the only Bible that some people can see. So your lifestyle is going to call people to say, it's something unique about that couple. It's something unique about that man. It's something unique about that woman, but you're representing Christ, brother, as well, not the husband, but before the husband, the bridegroom, then the husband. Sister, you're representing, because it's like you the bride, and then you're going to be changed to the wife. So that's what you're reflecting, my brother and sister. So you will not be wasting your time. You just got to understand your time. Once you understand your purpose, why you here, who you are first, then why you here and where you going, and then your purpose, my brother and sister, is for you, brother, and you, sister, to work together to bring people that are lost to Christ. That's your big assignment, my brother and sister, for you, brother, and you, sister, to work together to bring the lost to Christ. Number two, if you end up with the wrong person, my brother and sister, you are going to be used. Not only is your time going to be wasted away, you're going to be used, because if you will, for unbelief, you got to understand that most unbelievers are going to be narcissists. Most unbelievers, man or woman, they think that the world going to revolve around them. Most men and women, my brother and sister, you going to try to change for them, but I'm going to get more to that on point number three. So they're going to use you. You got to understand, their mindset is me, myself, and I. Even though they smile, even though they could do some nice thing for you, but you better believe when I say God does not put everybody together. They may be nice and stuff to you, and people might say they're nice and stuff, but it's what's on the inside. Now, what's on there? What's on this inside? This is what you brother and sister must understand. Is the Lord Jesus in that man or that woman. No matter how nice they treat you, no matter how nice the world look at them, the critical thing is Jesus in that person? Is Jesus dwelling in that person? If Jesus not dwelling in that person, they could act nice, they could smell good and all that kind of stuff, but he or she is in the relationship for the wrong reason. And the wrong reason is me, myself, and I. He or she may not say me, myself, and I, but you're going to be used. If you don't get used on the front end, you're going to be used during the course of the relationship, and especially at the end. Then you're going to try to kick yourself in your own butt, but your legs too short. You can't kick yourself in your own butt, and you're going to say, why did I put myself in that position? I seen the red flags, but I ignored them. I thought subconsciously that I could get that man or that woman to change for me. But it's not all. You cannot change no man, sister, and brother, you cannot change no woman. But if you are with the wrong person, I'm letting you know now, you're gonna be used, and you're gonna be going 20-some years, and then that person might ghost you. Number three, and this is one of the most important things, my brother and sister, that you need to understand, this final point. It said 3 reasons why God doesn't want you to be in a particular relationship. Number 1, I said, a waste of your time. Number 2, I said, you will be used. And finally, the person will steal your heart away from God. Listen to what I'm saying. The person will steal your heart away from God. The person will steal your heart away from God. Brother, you're no exception to the rule. Sister, you're no exception to the rule. Now, we're going to go to an example. And we're going to go to Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 3 through 4. That's Deuteronomy chapter 7, 3 through 4. That's Deuteronomy in the Old Testament, chapter 7, 3 through 4. God was directing this as the Israelites. But everything in the Old Testament, my brother and sister, is for our learning. You understand? It's for our learning. So those were God's chosen people. Everybody else were Gentiles. But now we could look back at the Old Testament and we could look at some examples that God told them it can apply to us today. Understand? Now listen to this. Thank you, Sister Cheryl. It say, neither shall thou make marriage with them. You see, God is warning his chosen people, don't marry people of other nationality. When I said other nationality, I'm talking about different cultures, because different cultures believe in different type of gods. You understand? So, brother and sister, you're supposed to believe in Jesus the Christ. Anything outside of Jesus, it's a no-go. So this is what God said again in Deuteronomy 7, chapter 3 through 4. It said, Neither shall thou make marriage with them. Listen to what God said. Neither make marriage to them. Thy daughters shall not be given unto his son. That's the foreign nation. Nor his daughter shall thou take unto thy son. When I said foreign nation, I mean unbelievers, okay? That's what I actually mean. Then it said, for they would turn, listen to what it said. It said, for they would turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. Listen to this. God talking about mixing a believer with an unbeliever. God say, and it was directed to the Israelite, and it applies to us today, the Gentile, everyone that follows his son Jesus. Remember, the Lord don't want us to be unequally yoked. And here it goes. This is God's word. He said, neither shall thou make marriage with them. What is God saying? Don't think about getting serious. Don't even think about getting committed to them, and definitely don't marry them. God, and this is an illustration. Then it said, thy daughters, sisters and brothers, if you are a daughter of God and you're a son of God, it said, thy daughter. This apply to you, sister. It say, thou shalt not give until his son. It said, the daughters, thou shalt not give unto his son. Who is the son? The son of the unbeliever, Satan's son. And then his brother is talking about, nor his daughter shall thou take until thy son. Don't let your sons, brother, talk to your sons. Say, don't marry that woman. She don't believe in the same Jesus we believe in. You understand? So this is very important, you parent. Even though your children are grown, if you raise them up in the Lord, you got to say this. Don't do it. A classic thing going back was Samson. Samson's parents told him about messing with those unbelieving women that believe in different gods. How you doing, sister Deborah D. Scott? We're at the dinner table. You all familiar with Samson, the man that known with strength. He got a warning. Samson's own mom and dad says, son, why are you messing with all these strange women? But Samson didn't want to hear him. And like I always go back to King Solomon. King Solomon, a man that had 1,000 women. He had 700 wives and 300 concubines. Solomon completely went against God. Samson went against God. There are a whole bunch of men right now. I was included in that one time. And a lot of you sisters, you are doing it right now. So a lot of you brothers, you are doing it right now. You're going against what God say. It said, and this is the warning. For they will turn away thy son from following me. The unbeliever brothers, if you messing with a worldly woman, it's a guarantee that she gonna call you to stop following the Lord wholeheartedly. Ask Samson. What happened when he dealt with Delilah? Delilah believed in her types of gods, okay? What happened? He got a free haircut, right? And he lost his sight. He literally got his eyes poked out. Can you imagine, my brother and sister, getting your eyes poked out without any anesthesia? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine the spirit of the Lord left Samson before he got that free haircut? Because he kept playing with fire. You know, Yoga Bear said don't play with fire. That's what Yoga Bear say. When I used to look at it on TV, Yoga Bear said don't play with that fire. Don't cause a little match. A little match can burn down everything. Brother, you dibble and dabble with a worldly woman, a little worldly woman that will burn your house down. Sister, you be involved with a worldly man, a little man that will burn your house down. And when I say your house down, I'm talking about your life. He or she may look good. They may smell good. They may have a whole bunch of things going on, but they're not good for you as far as their heart. And then it say that they may serve, it said, for they would turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. You're going to start serving that God. But you know why you're going to do it? Because you're going to start compromising. Whereas you will follow the Lord, you're going to compromise and you're going to think it's okay to go worship where they at. Like, for example, public worship. Sister and brother, you are serving the God in the right place with other believers. So when you get with an unbeliever, you know what you're going to do? Especially they call themselves going to church. They're going to talk to you. They say, why don't you come visit where I'm at sometime? And that's what some of you going to do. You ain't gonna think nothing wrong. You're going to start visiting where they go at. Now you're compromising. You compromising your relationship with the Lord. And this is an example, like going back to the Garden of Eden. God had a unique relationship with Adam and Eve, but Adam and Eve started playing with Satan. And we know what the aftermath, look where we at now. We know what happened when they start having a relationship with Satan. So that's what you're doing, my brother and sister. You may think it's okay, but it's not okay. It's not okay to compromise your relationship with the Lord. Because again, it said, for they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thy suddenly. Let me tell you something, my brother. So this is a warning from the God. If you insist on dealing with a worldly man and a worldly woman, the Lord had cleansed you and you got the light in you. And you taking a chance by listening to me tonight. You know why you're taking a chance? Because I'm putting it right out there. So it say, so will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. Don't you know, my brother and sister, if you violate what the Lord say and you keep doing it, you going to get to the place where in your mind you don't see nothing wrong with it. At that particular time, the Lord is getting angry at you. Some of you think that the Lord don't get angry at people. It's different things in God's book where he get angry. And you know when God get angry, he get angry. And you don't know how he going to get you when he get angry. It's a dangerous thing to make the Lord angry, because you make the Lord angry, it ain't no defense against what he could do to you. There are several things that you think is good and you think that the Lord, it ain't no big thing. Let me give you a good example when the Lord mean what he say. When the ark was being moved, the ark, it was being moved, okay? The 10 Commandments was in this box called the ark. Only the Leviticus priests can touch the box. Touch this thing. They're the only one that was assigned to touch it. Let me tell you what happened. The box was being moved with the 10 Commandments in there. They were traveling. The box was about to fall off. Okay, it was about to fall off. Okay, when it was about to fall off, there was this man. He thought he was doing good, so he thought he in his good deed he was gonna break he called himself catching the box so it wouldn't fall off. Okay, so when he touched it, God kept him like that. You see, a man or woman say, why would God kill a man? Because all the man was doing was trying to stop the box from hitting the ground. And why would God do that? Because God said, don't touch it. You see, God, when God say do and don't do, he does not play. That's what you brothers and sisters got to understand. You see, from a human man, a human woman, they would say, well, God wasn't fair. That man was just doing nice. He was just doing something nice. He was doing something heroic. He didn't want the 10 Commandments to fall out the box and hit the ground because it was so holy. But God said, don't touch it. It was assigned to certain people. And that's what I'm telling you, my brother and sister. God say specifically, don't mix your stuff up with unbelievers. He doesn't play. That's why today, my brother and sister, some of you are burnt by, some of you brothers, you are burnt by a woman or women. Some of you sisters, you have gotten burnt by a man or some man. Some of you brothers, you're getting burnt right now and you can't put out the fire with one woman. Some of you sisters, you're getting burnt right now with one man you can't put out the fire because you have gotten soul tied with an unbeliever. So when you got soul tied with an unbeliever, you have an invisible chain on you. Satan's son, my sister, have put a chain on you. You understand that, sister? Satan's son have put a chain on you. Some of you brothers, Satan's daughters have put a chain on you. You can't see those shackles on your feet, can you? You can't see the shackles, but you got shackles on you. Satan gave them a key to trap you. So now you mentally, you emotionally, you physically, and you may be financially tied to the wrong person, and you don't know how to get out. And you, brothers and sisters, you have seen these men, mostly women, and then some men, they complain to you about the person that's in their life. You give them, you try to give them advice on how to get out. But even though you give advice, they still there. And they come tell you how terrible this man or how terrible this woman is. And you being a third party, you say something like, just walk away. Leave him or her alone. But they got a soul tied to them. And you wondering why they keep doing this. Why they can't let that person go? Because they are soul tied to them. On a spiritual level, Satan got them hooked. The only way a man or a woman could get out of a relationship with a person that stole their heart away from God is God himself through Jesus. So my brother, my sister, I'm telling you tonight, if it's one of your family members or friend and they keep coming to you telling you about how this person is treating them so bad, you tell them you got a soul tie. Say you got an unhealthy soul tie. And you know what? You see, you got to be the type of friend, my brother and sister, that you got to tell him or her how it is. You see, a friend will tell a friend something even though the friend don't want to listen to it. You see, you got to be that kind of friend where you don't tell your friend or family member something to make them feel good. You got to put the salt out there. If they got an open wound, my brother and sister, you got to put that salt on that wound so it can burn them. They need your salt, my brother and sister, to burn that cut in them, because their heart is cut. So you put some salt in there, you trying to help them. You say, look, you got an unhealthy, I know your problem. You got an unhealthy soul tie. You with an unbeliever. And if they say, well, he or she believe in God, no, they don't. They say they believe in God, but their heart is from him. If a man or woman is in God, they will not have a soul tie on you. They will be your soul mate. It's a difference between a soul mate and a soul tie. So you, brother, you sister, most of you, not all of you, but most of you, you have been in a relationship that you soul tied. And when the chain finally got broke, you could look back and say, why did I waste my time with that person? Why did I allow that person to use me? Why did I let that person steal my heart away from the Lord? Even though I don't want to admit it, I got to admit it because I was trying to compromise and make the relationship work. On a subconscious level, I didn't recognize it, but on a subconscious level, I really thought that I could change the person. I thought if I could be a better man or a better woman, he or she would change, but they changed for the worse. And some of you brothers and sisters right now, you are in a relationship with an unbeliever and you got those shackles on you. The only person that got the key to unshackle you is Jesus himself. You got to go to Jesus, my brother and sister, and get that type of relationship out of you. Remember the 3 reasons why God doesn't want you to be in a particular relationship, because it's going to stone your relationship with God. That's the real reason why God don't want you to be in a relationship. It's going to hurt your relationship with God, and then you're going to hurt yourself. And the Lord is not going to throw no life raft out there to help you when I'm clearly telling you some stuff, my brother and sister. I have been there before. When I'm talking to you about, I have been there before. The Lord had to deliver me. He had to get that key, and he had to take that shackles on my heart. And you got to admit it to yourself. You got to admit that you got a soul unhealthy relationship, my brother. So that's the first thing you got to do. You got to admit that you're in that position. You looking for that person to change one day, right? Some of you brothers, so you looking, you think, and some of you brothers, so you believe that it's good in everybody, right? You believe that there's some goodness in everybody. The Bible don't say that. The Bible say that all our righteousness is like filthy rags. From God's position, God say all our righteousness is like filthy rags. But a man or woman say he or she does good, but God said our right like filthy rags. Especially if you don't have the Lord in it. So I'm telling you, my brother and sister, please listen to me tonight. I just gave you the 3 reasons why God doesn't want you to be in a particular relationship. You're hurting your relationship with God, you're hurting yourself, and you're hurting your future. Your relationship with God, you're hurting yourself, and you're hurting your future. You cannot regain time. Stop being used. Stop letting that person steal your heart away from the Lord. My brother and sister, I hope that you got something out of this soul food tonight. I hope that it filled you up. I would like for you to share this, my brother and sister. Take your carry-out plate and share it with other brothers and sisters and some of your friends, because they need to get a taste of some of this good soul food that we have at the dinner table. Those of you that on the book and on the tube, like, share, and you go ahead and make your comments. Or you know what, my brother and sister, go ahead and make your comment. Those of you, especially on the tube, if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button and that notification button, okay? I love you, brothers. I love you, sister. We're at the beginning of a new week. God got you here. Pray to God that he give you another day. Unless Jesus come, we would prefer to Jesus come, but ask the Lord to give you another day. My brother and sister, it's not too late. If you're in an unhealthy relationship, especially if you're with an unbeliever, you can break away. First, acknowledge that you got the problem. Go to the Lord and ask for help. And after you ask for help, you got to go to no contact. How you doing, Trinity? God is blessing all of y'all tonight, brothers and sisters. Yes, Mr. Oh, yes. Thank you, Trinity. Now, listen, my brother and sister. Again, acknowledge that you need help. Acknowledge that you got shackles on your heart and you need to get broken because you got an unhealthy soul tie. After that, pray to God. You admit to God, Lord, I'm a fool. Like CeeLo had a song out some years ago, A Fool for Love, him and his other lady. Said, Lord, I was a fool for love. And when you tell the Lord I'm a fool for love, you name that person. Sister, you said, I love Rico. Lord, I love Rico, but I'm tired of Rico. And then some of you brothers, you said, Lord, I'm tired of Betty Boo. Release me, Lord. And when you do that, you got to go to no contact. I'm telling you, my brother and sister, you cannot play with the devil children. Once you go to no contact, you got to go completely to no contact. No contact means delete. Delete all kinds of ways. You don't even want to get yourself tempted. Delete their numbers. If they're your Facebook friend stuff, delete them. Anything that you know they have access to you, delete it. Stop it. If they call you from different number, block it. You may have to change your number. If they got a key to your house, get your door thing changed. Your locks changed if they got a key. If they got any way, block it. If they talk to one of your family member friend to get in contact with you, you tell your family friend, don't come here talk to me about Rico or Betty Boo. Don't do that. I don't want to talk about them no more. And you may have to get to the point where pictures that you took with that person, you may have to burn them because you don't want nothing to entice you. Any love letters that you thought were love letters, burn them. Anything that person have done to you that keep bringing, that call that memory to come to you, get rid of it. Now, some of you will say, well, here she bought me a car. What should I do? You know what to do. You know what to do. You don't want that person having no ties to you. Now, you in a particular situation if you got children with that person. If you got children with that person, you're just gonna have to work. It just be strictly We only talk about the children. That's all we talk about. We only talk about the children. I don't want to go. We don't want to play that Minnie Riperton song back down memory lane. We ain't got no memories. It's dead. Our relationship is dead. If God pull you out of that situation, my brother and sister, God do not want you to go back. Remember what happened to Lot's wife when she looked back, right? You remember when Lot's wife looked back? The angel told Lot and his 2 daughters and the wife, said, don't look back. A simple commandment, don't look back. You see, some of you, brothers and sisters, I was included in this too. You think what God said don't register, right? Ask Lot's wife about it. She was told not to look back, and she looked back, and what happened? She turned to a pillar of salt. You all remember that phrase, you can take the girl out of the country, but you can't take the country out of the girl. She heard a whole bunch of stuff. Her heart was in Sodom. You understand? Her heart was in Sodom. That's why she looked back. And what happened to her? Pillar of salt. Brother and sister, do you want to go back to Sodom? Do you want to go back to your Sodom and Gomorrah? Do you want to go back there? Do you want to turn to a pillar of salt? Not literally, but figuratively. Do you want that? Don't look back. Once you go, brother, sister, don't look back. I love you, brothers. I love you, sister. I hope that you all have a good night. Peace out.